right. So I was just talking a little bit about DAX on a live call. Wanted to record this for you all. Just to talk about the entries that we've had, or that we had today, why the take profit target was placed there, and what we're looking at for, you know, for new trades, essentially, what we want to be doing kind of moving forward, especially considering how choppy it is, but we've managed to get quite a lot of trades on it. So I'll jump straight into it. So the reason for placing the take profit here was basically due to the fact that we've had this consolidation along the hourly. Hourly consolidation seems to be so important with DAX. We had the hourly consolidation there. Now, last week, no, it wasn't even last week. When was this? A couple of days ago now? 2 days ago. So Monday. Monday, we had the short entry that was placed here. And we had a different take profit target, which was this 10 pip stop loss for a 7.8R. We also had like a few different entries, and the reason I'm kind of pointing out these entries for you along the way is because it's important to what we're looking at entry wise for the future, or as in when I say future, I mean really quite soon. So we had obviously we've got a very strong downtrend here. We had the breakaway from the downtrend, and then we had a break and a retest of this level here, and we knew where the target was going to be because price needed to come back to this trend line where the liquidity was lying. As soon as it did, it then sold off, and we started working within this kind of this weakened downtrend, more something a little bit more rangy. I had a few more entries along the way. So we had the break. We also managed to get a position here, which was another long. We saw the structure shift. We know that this is a key level. We just looked to target the previous high. It went up a little bit higher. And we've had so many entries on this. We've been quite lucky, really, whilst price has just been establishing. We also then had another entry, which was right here. Same level. Targeting just this bit here. Very strong downtrend, took out this liquidity, hourly consolidation above where our previous entry was, break, retest, in and out. And that was like, that entry was within 2 hours. That was a 4R. We had a 5R here, we had a 9R here. So we've been like absolutely nailing this. We've been absolutely nailing this at the moment. The only one that was missed was this short opportunity here, which was a lovely retest of this level, but didn't manage to get in short. And also I missed the long here after this kind of consolidation. It's quite early in the morning that this took place. I wasn't awake at the time. But anyway, the point of this being is there's been so, like, although this has been choppy, there's been so many entries along this. What we're getting to now is we're getting price being squeezed quite a lot. So going back to these two entries here, sure. Obviously, we had the break here. We didn't get a retest, so we actually didn't take the position. We didn't even take it after it wiped out this level here. This morning, wasn't awake during this one, but obviously the trade was posted for anybody that was awake. But we're starting to get to a point where this consolidation is more important than this consolidation. This is where buyers are more happy at this particular moment in time. This is where sellers were very happy, but this level seems to break relatively easily. Like, we get the consolidation, but it does still seem to break. Now, one of the issues that we're facing is we were on a very steep slope down to start with, and now we can see that price is weakened. So, like, the two levels that are so important to us right now is where this weakened flat downtrend is. And buyers are very happy here. Very, very happy here. We're only on about for like the past 2 days, but we're just trading price action, recent price action. We don't want to worry about what's been happening a week ago. We don't give a shit about that. We care about what's happening currently. So, what does this mean? Well, it's like a pressure boiler essentially. So we've got here. If we look, okay, pressure is now boiling, and where this weakened downtrend is, we are looking at fresh angles in the market that we're trading off. So think of it as like, I don't know, maybe you've had like you can look at it from like loads of different ways, like a dam that's about to burst, or a pressure cooker, you're having a shit day at work. But price is now getting squeezed within this area. So the problem is our take profits are now becoming smaller until it breaks one of two ways. So actually does give us a couple of entries. I would prefer the short entry because I know where the entry is gonna be. The entry is gonna be here, and then we've got two take profit targets where we can look at basically these two levels here. And price will probably move down further because we are moving downwards at the moment. So we can, you only need 10 pip stop loss. But we can be looking at something like this, like a 9R, or just something a little bit smaller, like a 3R. It will be easier to short. It will move quicker to short. When we're getting these movements, we seem to be getting roughly the same kind of size, about 2.4%. These big movements here, 2.4, 2.5%, like around that. So if this is what the pressure, because, you know, we had the same here. We had the same here, and it actually then moved up more aggressively, and we got that. But we had exactly the same here. We had the pressure cooker boiling, and it actually decided to move down, and that's when it made that kind of 2%, 2.5% move. If that's the case, then we could be looking at moving further down. Price is bearish at the moment, and market structure is actually very, very bearish. But buyers are still in the market, as we've seen this morning with this kind of take profit target. So we could be looking at another step down. Maybe even targeting and wiping out some of this recent low here. But the fact that we're now starting to see the downtrend weakening, so it's ended up getting a little bit messy. We'll just clear this up. The fact that we've now started seeing the downtrend weakening is a sign that sellers are slowing down. When the angles of the market start changing, you'll see it on moving averages as well. So like, for example, if you use like a 200 moving average, you can start to see when like the market is slowing down, it starts going from like this to this, to eventually switching structure, and then starting to move out and wipe out some of these kind of key different areas of liquidity. So yeah, with the position we're at in DAX right now, we want to be careful. The other thing is the reason the short is going to be easier is because there is no defined entry right now on the long. The most defined entry is probably going to be around here, but with maybe this key level comes into play. So for example, when we're looking for the entries and we're looking for tight stops, we want to know where a particular, we want to know where the buyers and sellers are kind of in, where we want to know where they're interested, and where they're, what area we're going to get a price reaction off to be able to get our stop in as tight as possible to increase our R. We go from like a 4R to a, we go from like a 2R to a 4R. If we don't get in tight, makes a big difference to your equity curve. So if we break this weakened downtrend here, we're going to struggle to find a level. This is the problem. Because sellers are going to be situated at 2 points, which is here and here. The daily level will probably be the first, or will be the furthest target. But say, for example, price, unless we get something like this, and then we break this trend line, then we're not going to have a massive trade, because we only are going to want to trade up to this level here where this daily level is. Sellers are so strong there. You know, if we do break this downtrend and we start looking at aiming for the moon, I can almost guarantee you that your entry is going to get taken out. Once we break this downtrend and we look at this daily level, then we can start looking at big trades. Then we can start looking at 10 hours, 15 hours and stuff. But until that moment has taken place, it's going to be quite difficult to do that. So we've just got to kind of react with what we're given at this particular moment in time. So now for me, it is a case of we're going to wait on DAX. We had that lovely position this morning, but price now needs to give us something, which it will soon within the next day. Maybe even today. Maybe we even look at breaking this level here. But yeah, so this is why, you know, just kind of going back and backtracking, this is why I reduced my kind of take profit target to this here. It's why it's important to take these things into consideration when placing your take profit target on DAX. And it's why you can kind of get away with, you know, it's when you can start getting away with like bigger take profit targets like here and everything. So yeah, that's you know, cheers for listening, guys. If you're watching the video, that's what we're looking at next. That's kind of like how I trade DAX and my entry system, my take profit system on just DAX, because it's really quite easy to trade. But yeah, let's stop the recording now.